Welcome back to the Explainer, everyone. Look, we all know information overload is a massive bottleneck, right? I mean, we've all got gigabytes of PDFs, research papers, and meeting transcripts just sitting there, gathering digital dust. But today, we're not talking about another organizational system. No, we're talking about a real game changer, turning those passive notes into active, automated tools.
Just think about that for a second. What if your scattered notes could literally build their own interactive apps? Seriously? No way, right? Well, today, we're going on a bit of a journey. We're going to do a step-by-step tutorial, taking a messy pile of scattered data and turning it into a fully deployed, completely no-code application that actually does the heavy lifting for you. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll touch on the knowledge era. Then, we're prepping the NotebookLM brain, connecting our inputs to generation, linking up active data sources, and finally, debugging in the console.
Section 1. The Knowledge Era. Breaking the Bottleneck.
So, we are officially entering an era where anyone, and I mean anyone, can build custom AI workflows. You don't need a massive development team. You don't need a computer science degree. The number of coding skills required? Exactly zero. With Google's no-code mini-app builder Opal, you literally just use natural language to describe what you want. And boom, Opal generates a working mini-app and visualizes the whole underlying workflow for you to tweak and play with.
Section 2. Preparing the NotebookLM brain.
All right, before we can build the app's body, we gotta build its brain. And why are we using NotebookLM for this? Well, it operates in what's called a System 2 dominant environment. Think of it like putting your AI on a tightly constrained train track instead of just letting it drive off-road. It uses high-density grounding to strictly anchor the AI to your verified source documents, basically forcing it to prioritize facts. In simple terms, it totally prevents those pesky hallucinations.
So, your very first scaffolding step is aggregating all your diverse data into NotebookLM. We're talking PDFs, CSVs, web URLs. You can even grab transcripts straight from YouTube videos or pull files directly from your Google Drive. Once the whole shebang is in there, you use a bit of prompt engineering to synthesize those varied sources into a master document. This is essentially the foundational framework your entire app is going to run on.
Section 3. Connecting inputs to generation. Okay, now that our brain is packed with verified, hallucination-free knowledge, let's jump into the Opal canvas and start building our assembly line. It is incredibly visual here. Step 1, you just drop a user input node right onto the canvas. Step 2, drop a generate step right next to it. But here is the kicker. Step 3 is absolutely critical. You have to explicitly draw a connection arrow between them. If you don't physically connect them with that arrow, these steps simply cannot share data. The output of one has to be explicitly directed to become the input of the next.
Now, what's really interesting here is how perfectly this maps the relationship between the user and the machine. Over on the left, you're just asking the user a super simple question, right? Like, enter a topic. But on the right, that generate step receives the topic behind the scenes, runs your highly complex AI instructions against it, and flawlessly formats the output. So the user only ever sees that clean, simple input, while the app does all the heavy lifting in the background.
And you aren't just limited to text. The sheer variety of input types you can request from users is kind of mind-blowing. You can have them upload a spreadsheet, paste a YouTube URL, link a Google Doc. They can sketch a drawing on a digital pad, or, get this, even record a live webcam video straight into the app. Your workflow can be fed by practically any kind of media.
Section 4. Linking active data sources.
Now we're getting to the real climax of the tutorial, bridging that static research directly into our active Opal workflow. Just look at this massive shift. We are moving away from passive storage, where your notes are isolated and you have to dig around for them manually, and moving toward active retrieval. Google is testing integrations where your actual NotebookLM notebooks show up as dedicated, persistent tiles right there inside your Opal canvas. Your research becomes a permanent knowledge layer embedded inside an automated pipeline. And this creates a really cool technical advantage known as semantic superconductivity. Think of it like a perfectly insulated pipe. Because Opal connects so seamlessly to the NotebookLM ground truth, your facts don't leak or mutate as they travel through the app. The AI stays strictly within the verified boundaries of your data. This lets it perform incredibly complex derivations without accumulating a bunch of errors along the way.
So the crucial point is this. When you're setting up your generate block, you literally just use natural language to tell it to query that connected NotebookLM tile. You can just say something like, hey, read the client meeting transcripts in NotebookLM, look at the budget spreadsheet they just uploaded, and generate a personalized onboarding plan. It executes these highly informed, complex tasks instantly.
Section 5. Debugging in the console.
Of course, building software, even if it's no code, means you are going to hit a snag eventually. That's just how it goes. But inside Opal, you get access to the console view. Think of this as your absolute best friend, your primary diagnostic tool for peeking under the hood. It lets you run your application step by step, inspect the exact output of every single node, and pinpoint exactly where and why a step completely failed.
And this brilliantly illustrates how you can fix errors natively, without writing any code. It is such an elegant fix. Step 1, you just run the app step by step. Step 2, locate the specific error message, like maybe your output violated some formatting rule. And step 3, you literally just copy that exact error message and paste it right back into the instructions of the step that failed. You're basically telling the AI, hey, you failed because of this specific error. Don't do that next time. You are debugging just by feeding the error back into the prompt.
Section 6. Deploying your knowledge engine. All right, now that our app is built and fully debugged, let's deploy this thing to the world. As one creator put it so perfectly, you build once, share anywhere, no code, no dev team, no limits. Since Opal completely handles the hosting, deployment is literally as simple as clicking Publish. You can generate a public link instantly, embed it directly for your clients, or just save the workflow as a reusable tool inside your personal Google Gemini app so it is always ready to go whenever you need it.
So, you've just taken a bunch of scattered notes and transformed them into a fully automated, torsion-stabilized knowledge engine that works exactly the way you want it to. The bottleneck, completely broken. So the only question left for us is, what app are you going to build first? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer today, and I really can't wait to see what you create.